its word of power is Eng, E-N-G. What does that sound like, Jasmine? What language does that sound like?
English.
English, exactly. It's the trickster language. And so, as long as we're speaking English, we're going to only be confounded. You know, this is why we need to learn Medu Necher. Where is it? Did I have it up here? Medu Necher. We need to learn this. We need to learn our ancient language. Medu Necher, which is always the word of the divine laws. When we master that, then we can walk up the straight and narrow pillar, which is where our spine is. You see how cosmic law is linked directly to us individually and collectively. We can't be going zigzagging, you know, thinking that we're going to make it to the top, because there's always a yin and yang at each level.
What's the point of making a video?
You making a video, Bella? All right, cool. Okay, so as we can see, we have yin and yang here. Yin and yang, yin and yang, yin and yang. This is what gets us every time if we're zigzagging. Because there's, for everything, as long as we're below consciousness in the physical world, enmeshed in the polarity of it, we're going to have these dual forces which are going to challenge us along the way. Okay? That's why some people never make it beyond Heru or beyond Ma'at. Okay? It's because of the polarity that we're dealing with when we go to when we look to each one of these Netaru singularly without having the balance. You know, our focus should be starting with the foundation of Earth, making sure that we balance the Earth so that we can take advantage of the mineral, you know, the plants and all of the elements that are available here. That's going to serve as a foundation. You know, when we get these elements and everything introduced into our body, you know, we can have children that will come back that are perfect, just like the Earth is. Okay, that's why we can't damage the Earth. When we move up the tree, okay, when we move up the tree, we want to always have the next phase on that tree. So our job is to merge Sebek and Het Heru to create the chakra. We want to create the orange here, because this is the red. We want to look at this chakra. You see that this is red. This is called the Muladhara chakra. Okay, so we want to merge these two, Het Heru and Sebek, because this would empower our energy centers. The more we learn about connecting these two, we get this. And the more we learn about connecting all of these three, we get to the next level, which is Heru. Because Heru is the king. You see, we've mastered the earth. We've mastered, you know, our regeneration forces, and we've mastered our intellect. Okay? This is our intellect. We have the right hemisphere, which is our visual, and we have the left hemisphere, which is our linguistic, syllogistic, synchronistic type of logic. Okay, so this would be our intellect. We merge our two intellects and we use it properly, then we can rise to our kingship. That's what Heru is. Okay, that's bringing forth or allowing Jesus to rise, you know, in our physicality. We can hold our seed. We're not letting go of our regenerative juices. Okay, so once we do that, once we reach our kingship, okay, this is where we can demonstrate love to everybody else. You know, because we've shown the love for ourselves first. This is why health and wellness and nutrition is so important. If if you don't take care of yourself, you can't rise to kingship to have compassion for other people. You haven't taken care of yourself. So you empower your heart chakra, you know, and that heart chakra then enables you to move up and consider the law as the way you're going to live your life. And so we're just moving up. But before you go to the law, you have to have the discipline to sustain and maintain your, you know, your commitment. Okay? And it gets more difficult. That's why you need to double the fire here at Herakahuti. This is where your discipline becomes, okay, I gotta make myself do these things. Okay? You can't be, you know, lackadaisical. You can't be like Heru, you know, the intellect that says, you know, I'll put that off. Okay, that's the negative side. That's the negative side of Heru. She'll put things off. She'll procrastinate. So you want to double your fire. You want to tap into this aspect here and force yourself to do what's correct according to the law. Okay, law of Ma'at. Okay, Ma'at is the balance, the truth, the justice, the righteousness. These are all of the things that heaven has ordained for the whole. Okay? So when we know Ma'at, we know that Ma'at is always talking about here. So when you merge, our job is to merge Ma'at and Herakahuti to ignite our voice of truth here. And I'm going to match this color so that we won't be mistaken about the chakras and what they're for and what they're about. Let's see if I can get one that works here. Okay, here we go. That's the blue. That's the throat chakra. We merging Ma'at and Herakahuti. Guess what? We can talk. We can speak. We now enable ourselves the voice to speak truth here. So that when somebody is coming with lies, we can say, no, no, no. We need to voice, we need to bring forward into the world the vibration of truth. Okay? When we are able to bring forth truth, then we have power. We rise up to power here. Through Sekert. Sekert. Sekert is power. This is the feminine power. You know, the positive side of Sekert, or the yang side of Sekert, would be the masculine, you know, the masculine power. And this is what's being abused here today on this pillar, is the masculine power. Alright? That makes sense? Okay? But what we want to do is balance that by adding the negative or the feminine side, which is one who is able to plan and sustain. You know, it's the stillness of the planning that allows everything else to fall into order. Okay? Because Ma'at sustains Sekert. Alright? And Tahuti is the wisdom. Okay? But a lot of us want to, on the negative side of Tahuti, you know, there's the positive and negative. On the negative side of Tahuti, the problem that we're dealing with is not the proper dissemination of knowledge. We have some people that are withholding knowledge, okay? Withholding the wisdom, you know, that would allow us to ascend to our God state, which is Osir, which is in heaven. Our God, which is in the heaved up place in the head, which would, when we translate that into physicality, that would be our brain, you know, which is the receiver transmitter, okay, of the heavenly, consciousness, okay, the one consciousness, the cosmic consciousness. All right, so we need to bring Tahuti and Sekert together, the power and the wisdom, and balance it, which would awaken our third eye. See if I can get the right colors here. It would awaken our third eye. Alright, here's the third eye. So that we can see correctly how to utilize the wisdom and the power. Okay? We don't abuse it. When you abuse it, you're leaning side. When you're misusing wisdom, you know, you're withholding it. You're not disseminating it fairly or properly, equally among everything. Okay? But you see, we've walked up the tree. We've enlightened ourselves. All of these chakras become enlightened the more we merge the polarities. Okay? That's what that central pillar is for. This is called walking the straight and narrow. When you walk the straight and narrow, you will become enlightened. Okay? And you will solve all of the problems, the myriad of problems. Okay? These are all of the problems, and these are all of the solutions. But when you bring it into balance, you begin to fly. You get wings. You mount up on wings as like eagles. Okay? That's what that's all about. So when we see the straight up, you know, the straight and narrow, we have the raising of the jet. The jet looks like our spinal column. And this jet has been used in our ancient science to create, you know, electricity that we take advantage of today. You know, this jet pillar is representing, you know, the amplification of energy in our bodies, you know. And so we extend those principles all the way through to our physical life. If we have no amplification, we have no power, okay? And so we must rely on other people who have power, who are using the right side, you know, the blue snake or the red snake or the white snake or the black snake. We rely on those people, and we forfeit our own central, you know, our own central balance. And so once we open our third eye, according to what Tahuti has done for Heru, when we open that third eye, then we become Osir, or the God. We become one with God, the consciousness, God the Father, the consciousness. And we become, which is the white, the perfect, or the pure white that they talk about. And then we move into the perfect black. The perfect black is the consciousness itself. Okay, that's what Osir was always striving for when he achieved that level. He wanted to merge with the perfect black. All right? That's divine consciousness, the one that knows the whole blueprint through and through. So whenever we want to learn about solving problems, we have to go to the solution. We need to connect it through the pillar and use the resources of the earth, place them together so that we can climb the tree of life. This is solving problems 101. Thank you very much. Thank you.